The Paperboy,
The Paperboy by Lee Daniels. Lee Daniels has joined us along with his wonderful cast here. Thank you very much, Lee Daniels. Welcome, Nicole Kidman. Welcome, Macy Gray. Happy to see you. Welcome, ZAC, Matthew McConaughey, and John Cusack. So, Lee Daniels, Paperboy. There's a lot of things in this film. I was wondering if it wasn't the erotic charge of this novel and your film. Is that what interested you?
The characters interested me. The characters were complex. They're characters that we don't see very often. I've been told that they are outrageous. That's what I've been told. But no more outrageous than a 400-pound black girl that was dying of AIDS and that was abused by her mother. These are real people, and what's outrageous is that we don't see enough of these characters.
Yeah, it's true that you're referring, of course, to Precious, which marked us here in Cannes already. And this time it's a different register, a different style. Nicole Kidman, I mean, you're involved in this. How did Lee Daniels convince you to embody this very strange character who goes a very, very long way? You've got this very powerful performance you gave as well. What did Lee Daniels say to you to convince you with the mic?
The mic. He didn't say anything. I think I'd seen Precious and I thought it was amazing. I wanted to work with him, and I read the script and it was a really strong script. And we talked on the phone. Actually, he offered it to me in the evening. Everybody else was cast except me and I think John. And I read it overnight and I called him the next morning and said, I'm in. And then we talked about how it was going to be authentic and how to actually make her real, and that's where he really sort of pushed me.
Yeah, he pushed you a long way. Yeah, there's this scene in the visiting room with John Cusack, with ZAC EFRON, and Matthew McConaughey. How do you prepare yourself for that sort of scene, Nicole?
I mean, I think back on it, it's almost like a dream, but. I think I was so in the character that I never really stepped out of it. I mean, really, John, I've said this, but John and I didn't really meet until after the movie. I mean, we never really spoke as John and Nicole. We only met as our characters. And that was so helpful because then we could get lost in it. And then at the very end of filming, John came to my trailer and we talked. We said, hi, nice to meet you.
It's true that all these characters are inhabited by demons. They've got their inner demons. Matthew McConaughey, I mean, your character particularly. How do you see them? How do you see these different characters that Lee Daniels gives us?
How do I see the different characters? Well, nobody is exactly what they appear to be on the surface. You know, I show up as a writer who's come back to town to reopen a case, so I'm sort of an investigator. So I'm there to uncover and reveal certain things or certain truths. And along the way, a lot of things get revealed about my own character. There's a lot of humanity to the characters, and that's what I had so much fun hanging my hat on. The reality, not the morality, but the reality of this very murky yet vital world that's set in the Everglades in Florida, a very swampy area, and I, for one, am sort of I have a natural attraction. Something's very sexy and erotic about that part of the country, anyway. And it's a lot about family, stories about family. I mean, there's not a straight line among us in the film. Every character's crooked, you know, in different ways. So it's about family, it's about brothers, it's about everyone's wonderfully dysfunctional. But very real at the same time.
Yeah, a wonderful description of the film, Matthew McConaughey. Thank you. ZAC EFRON, we've never seen you like this before. I mean, how did Lee Daniels direct you? I mean, how did he prepare you? What sort of indications did he give you? You're so intense in this film.
Well, I was very blessed. I've been waiting for a guy like Lee to take a chance on me, and I was so blessed to be able to work with him at a young age because he was very much a guiding force through this movie and for me in my life. Lee's a guy who cares about performance above all else. And for me right now, at this point in my career, I can't imagine what else I'm looking for. He was really amazing.
Macy, I think, I mean, you're sort of the only healthy character in a way in this story. Wasn't it a bit frustrating for you as an actress?
Yeah, I think once you get into the character, then it's not, you don't really think about it, you know, about how difficult it is and how far away it is from what you normally do. But it was fun, you know, and Lee's very fearless and very specific about what he wants. So he's a big part of why everybody did such a great job, you know.
And you go a long way. I'm thinking about John Cusack's character as well. I mean, the way he looks at things, his gaze in this film. I mean, you're almost physically repulsive. You know, as a member of the audience watching it, you know, you feel this terrible thing.
He's a nice boy.
Yeah, but he is very nice, actually. But I mean, how did you go so far in constructing this character?
Well, everything always, to me, the tone and all those things always comes from the source material. So the source material of Pete Dexter's book, which had all those elements that Matthew described, and then Lee's work on that script and his development of the script, everything sort of fed from that. So Hillary was sort of like this strange force of nature that was never really explained or defined, and he was sort of a mystery. And so Lee and I just worked on this very feeling, intuitive level, as I did with Nicole. And we just tried to get beyond, you know, language and descriptions and explanations and just follow the feeling. And it was a very, very fun way to work, very exhilarating way to work. And I think that's if I was to describe what separates Lee from a lot of other directors, it would be a certain sort of emotional fearlessness with how he approaches scenes and acting and performance. And he almost sort of wills you or dares you or inspires you to go as deep as you can. And I think in this case, he had actors who were all very, very hungry to meet him in that arena. And so I think it felt like a very special time. And I don't know, I can't really speak for all the other actors, but I know, yeah, Nicole and I kind of felt like we were going through some strange fever dream together. And Lee and I would just look at each other and go, what the hell was that? And I said, I don't know. Well, do you know what it was? I don't know. But we try to get beyond all these kind of simple kind of explanations and just get into these very, very deep kind of primal feelings. I listen to a lot of Bob Dylan.
Un véritable homme démarré.
So a real swamp man. So there's no moral in your film. I mean, you love all your characters, whatever they are. You love them all. Is that the secret?
Yeah, I think that I wake up every morning. I think we all wake up every morning. Everybody on this in this room wakes up every morning, and we try to be good people. I think that throughout the day, I am knocked on my ass, and I realize that the world has made me not a good person this day. But I get up and I try again, and I think that my characters explore that gray area in life, in all of us, where we try to be good. There's a little bit of badness, a little bit of goodness, and yeah.
And it makes a wonderful spectacle. Thank you very much, Lee Daniels, Nicole Kidman, ZAC EFRON, Matthew McConaughey, Macy Gray, John Cusack. Thank you very much, all of you. Paperboy in competition here in Cannes.